Hello YouTubers, Philip here, and welcome to another Wrigley Rant video. Today I've got Baseball Lover and TheChudude with me. How are you guys doing today?
Solemn.
Oh, finally something different, or something else, and hi and goodbye and meh. Okay, so we're gonna start this episode off with a very good note, because TheChudude has been working on something for the last couple of days and it's finally worked out for him. What is it, TheChudude?
So we got our content on SoundCloud and iTunes now, so that's pretty cool. We've had it took me a while. Like there's a lot of things you have to worry about for that. Like it was a lot of issues, like the settings and all that stuff. So finally got it to work, and the links are going to be in the description. It's going to be on every week, but because we're not paying for it, we're only going to have it for. So it's going to be the last two episodes each before the oldest one gets removed. So we're only going to have it two episodes at a time. So you guys are going to have to get it in 2 weeks, which you guys should be able to anyway. But hopefully it'll be better for you guys, so you can download it straight as an MP3 file, or it might be more convenient for you guys. So check that out. Check out SoundCloud. It'll be soundcloud.com/TheChudude, and the iTunes one will be in the link below. I can't remember that. Hopefully it's a good platform for you guys to listen under.
It definitely
Okay.
sounds good.
I think we should all give TheChudude like a round of applause because he's done so many great things. Like he's really like going out there to contact everyone and trying to get people on, trying to get sponsors on, stuff like that. It's like really great. So
Yeah, I actually want to say that. Oh, before the pause, which I also gave premature before. But before you say that, Jude has also been working on getting a pro on the show. I mean, that is like that's impossible. That's basically impossible.
It is impossible.
But he is trying, and that's what matters. This guy is persistent, and Australians, they rock. Very good. Thank you very much. But
Thanks, guys.
on to the topics today. First of all, we're gonna talk about. I've already forgot. It was Gent game. Good. So, Gent was the last big couple of classics to be written, and it was won by John Deaglecop finally. Finally, August Shimano got some success. What do you think about that stage? Who surprised you? What disappointed you about the stage, and what surprised you again? TheChudude.
Well, Gent it's one of those stages where it could be a day for the sprinters depending how the weather is. It's tough in the middle, ends with a long flat. So it suited the flat sprinters this year. We had Degenkolb who won it, Demar second, and Sagan third. So Sagan didn't get his stage win. Degenkolb, he's in fine touch this classic season. We saw him, I can't remember, was it Doors or one of the other heavier cobble stages where Degenkolb was right in there with the cobbles guys. So it showed a lot from Degenkolb, and I think he really deserved this win. Another person I would like to point out was Sepp Van Mark. He came fourth, and this was a sprint. And Van Mark's shown he's got some sprinting legs in him. He finished ahead of Bonin, so that's something right there. Everyone else, it was probably mainly a sprinters finish. I mean, if you look at the top 10, it was mostly sprinters, and that's what we saw from the stage. Anything else you guys saw?
I saw Tyler Farah crash, and it wasn't just him though. It was Greipel, and those are two guys who, well, Greipel especially, I guess, who if it came down to a sprint, Greipel's just gonna blow everyone away, and he made it over the cobbles, and then Farah too. You crash, and then it's all gone. And then, it's just sad. Oh, never mind. On PCM, I thought I just saw a guy holding a gun at the riders. I think it was a camera.
Oh, extremist right there. Extremist. That's the right word I'm looking for. But yeah, I actually go back to Stefan Marke once again. Stefan Marke has been very consistent so far. I believe this is like his 5th top 10 place so far, or like 6 classics or something like that.
Yeah.
Like he's
Well,
been
you got to
battling
remember
for-
he was with Cancellara all the way there in Roubaix, and if he can sprint too and he can make it over, you never know. He could be one, and I'd suggest putting him on your Velo Games team because he's on mine for sure.
Definitely. Also, Tom van Asbrook, he's been doing pretty good lately. Like in the Gent van Willigem, he got 6th place with top 12 Flandern. And I also believe in 3S Japan, which we're going to talk about a bit later. He also got like 2nd place, no, not 2nd place, like he got a lot of like top 5 places, I believe it was, or top 10 places at least. I know he was at least in top 10. So top 12 Flandern was also making their mark in the race.
Kenneth Van Bilsen. I need to say something about him right now. He is the next. He's the next Cancellara. He's the next Bonin. He's also the next Cavendish, as he showed with his amazing sprinting ability in one of the stages. So basically, he's going to win everything, and he's the best. Just wanted to say.
And with that point, let's move on to the race where Van Bilsen was actually in. The 3 days from at Panne was a 3-day race with 4 stages, a very exciting race. It was like a mini cobbles tour. The first stage was filled with cobblestone, and there was a lot of action in that one. And I believe the winner was Peter Sagan, and he was trying to push Oscar Gatto over the finish line, which is very exciting. It was a really nice gesture of him to try and give his teammate the victory, but it didn't really turn out as he won the stage by like less than a wheel. So, what do you guys think about this gesture from Peter Sagan? Is it something you want to see more of, or is it just unsportsmanlike? Like, if you're the strongest, just go and win.
I can see how he's wants to give his teammates some credit because he gets so many stage wins, and I can understand it in his viewpoint by giving his teammate the victory because his teammates really deserve the victories because they do so much work towing Sagan to the line every single day, and they're riding for Sagan every single race Sagan's in basically. So I can see that, but you never give a stage away like just like that. You take the win if it's right there, like because he was so close to giving that stage to someone else, and that's the worst possible thing. But Sagan was definitely the strongest there. Like he was looking very good that stage, and no one was really close to him if he probably tried. Yeah. So
What do you think, Baseball Lover?
the format was. Yeah.
I have to think I think the exact opposite. Like he was right to give Gatto the stage because it's not like this is Sagan's big goal. I mean, he just won E3. Like he doesn't need this race, and it's a good race for Gatto to win. He obviously could have won it, and yet he still Sagan can't pull off. He has to get second or something. Like he just slows down and oops missed. Like no, you can pull off. I mean, seriously, if Van Bilsen had won, that would have been better, but he wasn't going to come around that late. You could have just pulled off, but he didn't.
Well, I support TheChudude in this one though. I believe in the strongest rider should. If you give the victory away, what's the point? Because I'm also a betting man, so I can get really pissed when I see people do that.
It's a team sport.
Well, is it really a team
Maybe
sport?
Gatto was the leader in this race. Yes, it is.
Is it really a team sport? Froome doesn't need a team.
Sagan wasn't even
Yes, he
in the
does.
overall. He was going to pull out after the second stage, and he did.
But still, I don't believe this is actually a team sport in the end. Like, it just like
It is a team
can
sport.
only help you so much. Like, you could win it alone. On EPO, you could win this alone. You can go down and get water.
Chris Froome
get
last year
drinks,
would not
get-
have won the Tour de France without his teammates. He needed
No.
his teammates.
Really?
Roombot.exe
When did he
is
need them the
crash.
most?
That's what happens
Needed
when
his
teams
teammates in
die.
the team time trial.
You need,
What is- that's such a dumb point.
in order to in order for
Froome count is
In order for
fucking
haven't you guys?
.exe to run, you need to first install Team Sky. Dot
I have to install
Or
all the
AR.
plugins first. Get all
and the drivers
drivers
for it
and all
to
that
work
stuff.
properly.
Yeah,
Since,
it's a
since
touchy
we're
point,
doing
though.
this live, maybe you guys
topic.
can leave in the comments if you guys think teammates are that important in cycling. Is it individual sport or is it a team sport? And we can argue this in Olympics
good
as well.
question.
Should the whole team get a gold medal or should that single rider get the gold medal in a road race? That's a good question as well.
But still, the same thing is here then. The team doesn't really
They
get
get the
what the
money,
heck is
they
Sylvester
split the
doing,
money.
by the way, if you look at Sylvester on the right hand side. But the money or the pride, I mean, I read somewhere that like cycling is the only sport that's a team sport where only the winner gets something. Like only the best guy gets something. How does in a okay, let's look at this. In the Olympics you have the 4x4, the 4-man relay. You win the 4x4. You don't only give the gold medal to the guy who ran the fastest, because the other 3 guys also had to carry their weight.
Well, in the Olympics,
Therefore, I argue that cycling
it's
is
like
a one-man sport.
the
since
USA
it's only
people
one man
in the
getting prize.
100 meter are all on the same team, but they're against each other.
But in cycling, they're also
They
on the
split
same
the
team.
money
They're
though.
with each other, and they
If
still
you're
don't
on a
get
good
anything.
team.
Like, yeah, if you're on a good team, if you're on like in the back in the days when they're like doing illegal business.
I think
I
that
don't
Top
believe they
Sport
split the
should
money
help in the
back
break
then.
with de Klerk, since they have the best
Oh, you
sprinter.
should. Oh, nah. I don't think they should. Tactical mistake there. But, I mean, back to 3 days with Dependent, what we were talking about. First day was won by Peter Sagan. Then, the next 2 stages that were on are... Actually, I want to talk about the second stage and then the third stage separately. Because the third stage, or the third stages, was kind of interesting. The second stage was another hilly stage where we saw Sasha Mardolo winning it. And let me just check who that was in front of. That was in front of an Audemars and Christoph, and also a young Astronaut talent, Ruslan Chilabau, by Yev, however you say that name.
No,
Got 4th place.
Doesn't
Have you
matter.
guys ever heard of this guy before?
no, no.
Do you think that
Meh.
this guy's one to watch out for because he got a
No.
4th
Meh.
place in a race? Even
Van
beating
Bilsen was
Kittle
not
and Van
trying.
Bilsen?
That's why. And
Very
Kittle
exciting
just
though,
sucks,
okay.
but Van Bilsen, he was just not trying.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, by DeMar.
This was
yeah.
the race where Kittle got blocked in, actually. This was the stage. This was his... Yeah, that was
He
the stage
should-
where you were saying that he should get a punishment. Like, I was talking to Baseball Lover after this. And Baseball Lover wanted to give DeMar a punishment for blocking in or purposely
Okay.
blocking in Kittle.
Well,
so
it's
he
not the
couldn't get
first time
anywhere.
DeMar decided,
Why?
oh,
Argue
let me
that.
just,
Let me hear you argue.
weave across the road to cut someone off, like, aka the Tour de Suisse last year, where Tyler Fair was in the perfect position, and then DeMar's just like, oh, let me just dive into this corner under him, cut him off, make him take out his front wheel, so he has to restabilize and lose hundreds of meters. No, you can't just do that. You're supposed to keep your line. He was on Ferrari's wheel, yes, but there was like 100 meters to go. You're supposed to keep your line, okay? And if he wasn't going to launch then what was he even doing in the sprint? Instead, he purposely just drags over to the right, all the way to the barriers, doesn't even launch a sprint. He pulled the old Farah trick, and then it's just not even cool. Just not even cool. He purposely
Yeah.
did that, and that's just not cool.
I disagree. This sprinting is all about positioning, and
What's
if
your
you're
opinion, TheChudude?
in the worst position, like Kittel, that's bad luck because that's the way the sport goes. You see in sprints, you see guys like bumping each other's out the way, and that's how cycling works. It is what it is. It's a dangerous game, and fortune favors the brave. Unless you're like blocking someone like Mark Renshaw, like headbutting.
Well, then how come? Well, then how come when Ferrari cut off Cavendish, everybody was in
Back in the Tour de
uproar?
France?
Because everyone loves Cav, and he got cut off by Ferrari. Oh no, that's not good. That's horrible. He got penalized. But when it's somebody else, like they don't have the big name, so they don't get penalized for it.
He
Yep,
did that last. He did that last in the Tour de
Didn't
France where he
Cav do that to
crashed
someone in
into
Tour of Britain?
Wheelers.
Villers, and that
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
that was a
And
big
he
turn.
did he get punished? No, you know why? Because he's a big name, and
Oh,
Demar.
yeah,
Everyone
yeah,
loves
yeah.
Demar. He's the new thing. So, but nobody likes Ferrari, so he gets penalized. Like, no, you got to keep it.
So he's not gonna get punished either. Back to the topic that we discussed
Agreed.
week
Yeah.
after week after week. The UCI is terrible at enforcing their own rules. It's very funny. That's basically what it comes back to. Okay, but just cause on the third day there are 2 stages, just like you have a flat stage in the morning and you have a time trial in the end of the day or prologue. Same thing they did at the 3-star Dependent. So, in the morning again, I want to start off by saying there was a terrible crash involving Kennedy House. I did not know what his injuries actually were, but looking at that crash, he was going around a corner, his bike slipped underneath him, he crashed all the way and slipped on the road into a pole, and was just
Sorry, why was I
crinkled around it,
laughing
he
at
was
that? I don't
bouncing
know.
around that pole. It looked like it really hurt. I don't know, it looked really bad. But in the end, again, Sasha Mardolo came out victorious and won that stage, and I believe he took the green jersey from that victory. And also, this was a stage where Van Bilsen got really funny on the video. We were like, for his ass. I gotta say, that was some real team sport shit. It was team sportsmanship. What do you think, you dude?
Oh man, these sprint stages again and again, they feel like the same thing. I didn't even watch the stage. I saw the highlights on cycling hub. But I don't know. I didn't see that enough. I saw the crash, but I really didn't like focus on it too much, so I can't really say much about it, I guess. So
Did you pay attention baseball over to it?
No.
Like Michael Van Bilson to like Kenneth Van Bilson was like 3 points away from the green jersey or something like that if Mandola didn't win the stage. So he's like trying to push him in front of him so Van Steen wouldn't finish in front of him.
Van Bilson just didn't care. Otherwise, he would have won it anyway. Van Bilson's God.
Well, apparently he is not. So, on to the next stage, or the final stage of Teresa Van Banner, which was a time trial, which not that much to say about. I mean, Terpstra he got really unlucky. Terpstra was supposed to win this time trial, but his shoe didn't click in the beginning of the stage.
This was a big talking point as well. I mean, I had a talk with Failure the other day, and we was discussing whether it would have been quicker for him to get a bike change and get the right pedals instead of riding one-legged. Apparently, that's what happened, and that's a really interesting thing because that's a win-loss situation. Because he could have won this stage race. This stage race was Terpstra's stage race to win, and he was in the perfect position. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you think he should have made a bike change, or?
Yes. Because if you're riding, quote, one-legged and you're going to make it that big of a deal, then obviously it was a big enough deal to lose a few seconds.
It was more than a few seconds, I think.
Well, actually, he was riding 1.5 legged.
Yeah.
He's running 1.5 legged, according to Cycling Quotes, which I read the article of. But, I gotta say, though, that if he had switched bikes, though, he would have lost 20 seconds there. And making that up is just a hell, like, that's not fun either, knowing that you're that far behind. And probably, if you think you're that strong, you can beat all the other guys with 1.5 leg, maybe it's worth going for it, as he did. It didn't turn out to be the greatest choice, but
I mean,
don't think it was really targeting.
People don't know that, like, if you have like the pedals they use, it's actually really small, so it's really hard to ride when you have that broken pedal. It's actually really hard. Saying that, Luke Durbridge got second as well, so that was good to see him finally get a result. I was following Durbridge for a while, and finally he does something, so I'm happy. I'm happy with that stage race. We saw him at stage 1 with Demar trying to catch up to the peloton as well when they got caught behind, but
yeah, 6 kilometers to go with him and Demar trying to reach back up. That showed some real power to try and catch back up, though, but that looked impossible. That task did not look like it was manageable, and they didn't actually catch up. They lost like 10 seconds or something like that. But all in all, 3 Days of Pen, a very exciting race. It's a little mini classic which you can have on. It's like a little tour with cobbles in it, and I like the concept, and I think it was well executed. It was a very all-around good race. But the next classic coming up that we all are gonna love and watch the hell out of, it's gonna be up to today when you're watching this, but as of right now it's tomorrow. It's the Ronde van Vlaanderen, which is gonna be very exciting. And who do you guys think is gonna win this, and how would you analyze this? Like, where
well,
are the crucial points
it all depends on who comes out to play. I mean, Cancellara, I think it's about time for him to win something in the cobbled season this year. But on the other hand, it's also Bonen's time to win the cobbles this year. I mean, he's one of the best. They're the 2 best cobbles guys that, in PCM in the last years overall, and they've done next to nothing in the cobble season. So these next 2 races, not counting Shelterpries, obviously, because that doesn't count, are going to be crucial. And I think that it's going to come down to them. That's my opinion. A guy like Sagan, maybe. I don't think so, though. This is really a strongman's race. Even more so, Roubaix is. So these next 2 classics, I think it's going to be between them. Also, Van Marke, you got to watch him. He's going to have Lars Boom back, which is, going to really help him. And since he was already doing so well, he's definitely a guy you need to watch. I mean, like I said earlier, remember Roubaix last year. And then, I don't know. Christoph, people are still saying that he's going to do something. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
Oh,
What are some of the crucial points in the run
I
of
don't know
Flanders?
the
Like, what are some
exact
of the
names, but
crucial
I know where
hills,
they are.
obstacle
There's about
sections? Can you mention some of
couple.
those?
There's one really steep hill about 30 k's out, and then the last hill of the day is pretty. It's pretty tough as well. So they're cobbled hills, so they're not easy. And I don't know what the weather is like. Imagine if it's wet as well when you're going uphill, steep hills. Um, about I think 50 k's to go, there's a hill that goes. I think it is. Was it 20% or something like ridiculously steep? So that's going to be a big turning point. Watch out for Geraint Thomas as well. He's shown some really good form. I expect Geraint Thomas to be up
Damn,
there in
you've
the
been
podium as
staying.
Yeah. I wanted to say that Geraint Thomas is one to really want to see a showdown between Cancellara and Tom Bone, and we haven't seen one yet. And there's 2 chances left of those. I mean, if we could see a showdown between the 2 giants, I mean, I would be in love with that. I mean, that's just. I am yet to see really a great classics, so if they could show me one, I'd be much appreciated. But guys, that's gonna wrap up this episode. So this episode is gonna be on it's gonna be on PCM Daily first of all. It's gonna be on iTunes, and it's gonna be on
Yeah, you can get it
SoundCloud.
wherever you
So
want
it's also
now.
gonna be on YouTube. So it's gonna be lots of places now. Exactly, a daily doses of cycling weekly rant, or something like that. It's called in iTunes, I believe it is. So, thank you guys for being here on the Twitch stream, and thank you for watching on YouTube, thank you for watching on iTunes, thank you for listening on SoundCloud.
Salam.
Thank you guys for
Salam.
being here.